On the start then, Germany, the USA, Romania in the center, then the Netherlands and Australia. Belarus also drawn to the final, but there are no-show crew on the start, so just 5 crews taking part. And very much the crew to beat will be the Netherlands in lane 4. Immensely experienced 4 who are also taking part in the women's 8 final later in the program. Netherlands in fact won the event in Lucerne, but with an entirely different lineup, so obviously a fair amount of rejigging going on in the Dutch camp. And they brought in these very experienced girls. The Stern pair, who were 6th in the world last year in the 2-, that's Femke Bolen and Muriel Schildgaard. And then Rita de Jong in the number 2 seat, she was 6th last year also in the Dutch quadruple scull. And that's the Americans, where Anne Kakela and Amy Fuller are 2 survivors from last year's silver medal crew. And they too are all 4 out of the American 8 that'll take part in the grand final. The Germans on the far side in lane 1, 3rd placed at Lucerne 2 months ago. And the Romanians also had a reshuffle because the bow girl survives from last year's 5th place crew. They had a complete reshuffle, brought in an entirely new lineup for Lucerne, and have reshuffled again, so it's just the 2 and 3 girls who are out of that crew that came 4th. So an entirely new lineup for this year's World Championships. And the Australians, containing the engine room, containing Alison Davis and Victoria Toogood, who were silver medalists last year in the 2-. So individually a very high-class race, but comparatively new lineups as they come through into the middle part of this 2,000-meter course. And the crew settle down into their race pace, and it's the United States of America in lane 2 who go half a length up on the rest of the field. Dutch there well in contention, good even rhythm, very long in the water. The essence of a rowing stroke is not simply the power that's attached to the blade, it's the length of the stroke in the water and how much that power is maintained. And it's the USA now who lead from Germany and Romania in the lanes alongside each other. Second place Germany, Romania currently in the bronze medal slot. And Australia beginning to squeeze through on the near side into 4th position. And the Netherlands biding their time in the 5th place at the moment. So at the halfway mark, it's the USA who cross the line, followed by the Americans, Germany and Romania. Netherlands still in 5th slot, but with that sort of experience on board, I feel sure that we're going to see a push coming from them very soon indeed. America 2/3 of a length up on Germany and Romania, who are neck and neck in 2nd position. Netherlands now beginning to move up on Australia on the near side. Engine room of this Australian 4- out of the last year's 6th place crew. Australian girls trying to come back on contention for the medals, but still it's the Americans, the early leaders, who maintain that position. Germany closing the gap. There's just half a length in it between the 2 leaders at the moment. And the Dutch still biding their time, but not more than 2/3 of a length between all 5 crews at the moment. This is anybody's race. Still the Americans lead, but the other 4 crews just sitting on their shoulder, and a sustained push by any one of these 4 could snatch that gold medal position from them. Now the Dutch make their move. They're moving up. Well, America took the early break, They took a risk, but now they've got to face the Netherlands and Australia coming up hard on their shoulder. Once you're in the lead in a race like this, it's all very well, but it really is a great risk. The Netherlands coming up hard. They're now in silver medal slot. Australia third, just ahead of the Germans on the far side. And Romania, one of the early leaders, now falling back into fifth position. And the Netherlands making ground on the Americans with every stroke. Less than a canvas in it. Still the pressure is on from the Dutch girls. Now rating 41. That's against America at 39. And they've gone through them. Holland go up by just a few feet ahead of America. Holland in gold medal position ahead of America, and Australia in the bronze medal slot now, but still the narrowest of margins separating these crews as they come down with less than 200 meters to go to the line in the final of the women's coxless fours. The Netherlands go just under half a length clear of the rest of the field. Really pushing out a lot of white water flying as the pressure goes on for the finishing burst from these girls, but still half a length advantage maintained ahead of the USA on the far side. Australia in the bronze medal position, and it's the Netherlands who win. The USA second and Australia third. And it's Romania, the early leaders, who just held on to fourth position ahead of Germany. Silver to the USA and Australia third. So we'll be back in just a few minutes.